We are on a mission to get Chelsea back to the top table of Europe's elite. Jadon Sancho's joined to resurrect his career and Christopher Nkunku leads the goal-scoring charts. But today is the day when we unearth the very next Raheem Sterling. And as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe. And let's get into today's episode, starting out with your comments. You should sign Kimpembe from PSG or re-sign Rudiger. Yeah, so I've made it abundantly clear that whilst Thiago Silva is still currently my highest rated defender, at now age 39 and already gone down by 2 points so far this season, I am definitely going to need to look for a long-term replacement for the Brazilian. However, whilst in real life Kimpembe would be a fantastic addition, with him being 28 years of age and in the peak of his powers and having everything that I would want in a centre-back, it looks like Atletico Madrid has stolen a march on us and snapped him up from PSG on this career mode. As for Antonio Rudiger, with him being 85 rated, there is no doubt that he's a world-class defender, plus he showed his defensive stature the last time he pulled on a Chelsea shirt. However, with the club's new policy of buying up young players and with him being 30 years of age, plus now playing for arguably the biggest club in world football in Real Madrid, would he realistically want to rejoin the club at this point in his career? Since your budget is so much, why don't you sign Fikayo Tomori as a Thiago Silva replacement? Now this is a very interesting shout. Another man who's got experience playing in the Chelsea colours, and another man who I'm sure would be desperate to return back to the Premier League. And with him being 25 years of age and already 85 rated, there is no doubt he would immediately come in and improve my defence. However, you spoke of our transfer budget, and as you can see, we've only got £40 million left to spend, and with AC Milan seemingly wanting something in the region of around £81.4 million, he might well be out of our budget as we head into January. That's not to say though, if I don't see any sort of improvement from some of the younger centre-backs that I have already at the club, if we do manage to claw our way into the Champions League spots by the end of the season, then perhaps he might be someone I want to turn to in the summer transfer window to make a triumphant return to Chelsea Football Club. Due to Enzo Fernandez being injured, I'd say loan out Romeo Lavia and keep Hugo Chukwu as a substitute, or vice versa, but it's your choice. One player that I think can fill out for Enzo Fernandez's absence is Joe Linton from Newcastle. He's a very physical player, quick for a central midfielder, great passing and lovely stats all round. So yeah, a massive blow midway through last episode with my best central midfielder Enzo Fernandez rupturing his anterior cruciate ligament and being out for now 5 months. Now out of the two young players who could potentially replace him, this young man is no doubt showing great potential, but with him only being rated 73 and yet to start in the Premier League for me this season and yet to really have much Premier League experience for Chelsea in real life, I have to be honest, I think I lean more towards this man Romeo Lavia. He played well in his opening Premier League start for us last episode, and he's got a wealth of experience playing for Southampton in the Premier League as well. Plus, just like his French colleague, he's an exciting prospect as well who could develop into a world-class central midfielder. So I think what I'll do is I'll stick Hugo Chukwu on the loan list for now. Hopefully I can see if I can get a club to come in for him, at least in the January transfer window, to get some much-needed experience in the second half of the season. And I will definitely keep hold of this man, Romeo Lavia. Plus, I'll also upgrade his development plan to be focused on a deep-lying playmaker, which will hopefully advance his progress even quicker. And then as for Joe Linton, as you can see, I haven't quite scouted him yet, so I don't know what his exact rating is, but with him being 6'1", with high attacking and defensive work rate, and seemingly pretty decent stats right across the board, he could well fit in as a fantastic box-to-box midfielder for me, should I need one come January or even in the summer transfer window next year. However, last episode we made the sudden realisation that we don't really have many players coming through in our own youth academy except for this young man, but with him only being 15 years of age and only 49 rated, he is nowhere near ready to be promoted to the senior team. So instead I sent 3 of my scouts off to England, Brazil and France to try and uncover the best young talent across world football. Unfortunately enough, whilst looking across England, there are a few decent players that my scouts has come across, but there is one in particular who stands out by a country mile. The left-footed Arthur Ryan has a potential rating of between 81 and 94, but perhaps the most impressive thing about him is just at 17 years of age he's already valued at £1.3 million, and so I think it is an absolute no-brainer that we sign him to our youth academy. And looking at his attributes, I can understand why he was valued so highly. He's already got 4-star skill moves and he's got fantastic pace for such a young man, plus he's got some decent stats right across the board, as well as the fact he can play both on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of midfield. And whilst it's slightly concerning he has both a low attacking and defensive work rate, I'm sure that with a quick upgrade to his development plan, which can be tailored around trying to improve his attacking work rate to begin with, he may well develop into a sensational player, and that is why I am confident enough already to promote him to my senior team. And it's no surprise to see this is a promotion he's been absolutely delighted about. It's something he's been dreaming about, and he's absolutely desperate to show everyone what he can do. And whilst I've been really impressed with his stats so far, he's just got to make sure he keeps working hard, and hopefully good things will happen for him. However, with a series of tough games coming up in the Premier League over the course of the next month, and whilst he has the potential to be something special, I think he's just going to have to wait a little bit longer and work a little bit harder in training before he can make his debut in a Chelsea shirt. Now, I mentioned at the start of the episode, after a fabulous start to life in Chelsea colours, Christopher Nkunku is lighting up the Premier League. In fact, he is the Premier League pace setter with 7 goals in just 7 games. And whilst my original plan was to play him in central attacking midfield, following your advice to move him up to being our lone striker up front, he has been an absolute revelation. And with him having that something special, only being 25 years of age but already going up to 87 rated, having just played the opening few months of the season, there is absolutely no telling what this young man could potentially achieve. And it seems like the good form for him just continues to keep on coming. A hat-trick for him away from home against Burnley should have been enough for us to win the game, but somehow we've managed to concede 3 ourselves and draw it 3-3. But as we begin to play our first game of this new episode, we're going to have to make sure that our defence is more watertight this time around, as we welcome a far tougher opposition in Arsenal to Stamford Bridge. Ben Chilwell tries to bring the ball forward and finds Jadon Sancho really nicely. He's going to look for the overlapping run of Ben Chilwell down the left-hand side. Going to try and dink this in, looking for Sunset. Well headed away, corner. It's going to be a corner that Raheem Sterling is going to take. He's going to throw it into the edge of the box. Looks for Christopher Nkunku short, but couldn't find him. Sancho will pick up the loose ball, heads it down, and got it all wrong, and it's an Arsenal goal kick. Saka for Arsenal. Oh, lovely little dink pass into the path of Gabby Jesus. Wonderful stuff from Saka there. And now Gabby Jesus tries to streak past Ben Chilwell. Good defensive challenge though. It's an Arsenal corner. Well, it's corners on both ends of the pitch here inside the opening 15 minutes. End-to-end stuff at Stamford Bridge, as both teams look to try and make the opener here. Caicedo heads it clear. Not out very far though, only to Saka, who goes to strike, and it's saved well from Costa. And the goalkeeper stops us from going 1-0 behind early on. It's another Arsenal corner, and it looks like they're going to go short for a second time in this game. And they do go short, and it's Saka so far, who's been the danger man. Lays it off to Jorginho, the former Chelsea man. This time it's well defended by Badiashile. Far better defensive work this time around, and he gets the ball clear. We've got a free kick here though in a dangerous position, and it is going to be the in-form man, Christopher Nkunku, who's going to try and step up and take this. He's got it at a good angle. He gets it over the wall. It's well saved by the goalkeeper. Reece James bursting forward. Neither team really playing particularly well so far in this game, but Sterling manages to find Oyhan Sunset. He plays it across the box. Well defended this time though by Cedric. Reece James wins it high up the pitch and finds Oyhan Sunset, who turns really nicely, shifts it onto his left, but he's ended up getting blocked off by the Arsenal defence. And instead I'm going to try and play this into Ben Chilwell again. Well defended by Cedric. Jesus has come deep in a desperate attempt to try and get the ball for Arsenal, and he's done a good job to be fair, as they've managed to beat our press, and now they play it down the left hand side into the path of Martinelli. He's being chased down by Reece James. Is he going to try and look to fire a ball across here? It's blocked by Reece James. It's another Arsenal corner, and this time it doesn't look like they're offering a short option, so they are going to throw it in the box. It's Saka to throw it in, looking for the head of Martinelli. Instead it's headed clear by Jadon Sancho. Only out as far as Saka again though. He's going to try and play it in the box. Caicedo trying to challenge him. Doesn't do a good enough job, and Arsenal keep the ball alive with Zinchenko. Into Thomas Partey. He's looking for someone to give the ball to. Into Jorginho, and he blazes it over the bar. And Chilwell under pressure. Wriggles away from Saka really nicely. And he's beaten the Arsenal press here, and he's bursting away from our defence. Into Nkunku. Into Sunset. He goes out wide to Reece James. He's got acres of space to run into here. I'm going to try and drive into the box. Play it across. I was trying to look for the low pass. It was well blocked. Jorginho. Into Saka. He's popping up in all sorts of areas, Saka, today. He's been so dangerous for us. We just cannot seem to get the ball off of him, and it's a lovely piece of play there for Arsenal. And again, it's Saka now, this time to drive down the right-hand side. He's been double marked, but still we can't get the ball off him. Jorginho into Gabby Jesus. Well blocked by Badiashile. Sunset into Raheem Sterling. This game is really starting to open up here as both teams in desperation to try and find a goal, and Saliba with a thumping challenge. Caicedo down the line into the substitute Ian Matson. He's got space and he finds Oyhan Sunset. He finds Nkunku, and Nkunku almost found the back of the net. But what a save from Ramsdale. Look how much it means to the Arsenal players. They know how important that was. Look at this. I thought it was going to be a certain goal, but a fabulous diving save with Ramsdale put an end to it. and put an end to the good form that Nkunku is on at the moment. But it will be Sunset to take the resulting corner, fires it in, looking for the head of the other substitute, Gusto. In the end, it's a weak head and easy for Ramsdale this time. It's going to be Gabby Jesus to fake the free kick and look for Saka, who balloons it over the bar. That is Chile into Matson. Neither team so far able to break the deadlock. And with only about 15 minutes remaining on the clock, can either team do it? It's a pass to Caicedo. It's well challenged by Cedric. Arsenal try and escape with the ball, but Chile presses high and wins it. And now Mudryk finds Ian Matson on the left-hand side. He plays it into Sunset, cuts back in. Sunset to strike on his right, straight at the goalkeeper. It's another Chelsea corner. It is going to be that man, Sunset, to take the resulting corner yet again, and he fires it in. This time looking for the head of Madueke. It's headed down, though. Saliba tries to get there, boots it clear. Gino into Saka. Saka's surely going to look for a ball into the feet of Gabby Jesus, but instead decides to keep running. And this time, Chile with a fabulous challenge. And now Mudryk can bring it out into Sunset. Sunset surely has options ahead of him. Chooses to go down the left-hand side into Mudryk. Mudryk can play it across here. I was trying to play it across to Madueke. The ball just wasn't strong enough. Declan Rice, only a matter of minutes, moments remaining in this game here for one of these two teams to try and get a goal. And at the moment, it looks like it's going to be Arsenal, but Chile again with a fabulous piece of defending. Now Sunset has it again. He's going to try and play it down the right-hand side into Madueke. He drives into the box here. Madueke to try and strike. He does with his right. And it's a fabulous goal from Madueke to seal it. Seal the 3 points for us in the 5th minute of stoppage time. Look at the celebrations. Even I'm running with the Chelsea players. What a time to score and what a goal it was. Well, it's absolutely unbelievable. Oyan Sunset with a beautiful pass into the path of Madueke, and just the composure and the calmness to just place it past the goalkeeper. A worse player may have ballooned it, but he just showed fabulous composure to put it in the bottom left-hand corner. And we have 3 points to our name in the dying seconds of this game. Wow, what a fabulous way to end what has been an end-to-end game here at Stamford Bridge. The Arsenal players are in utter disbelief at what they've seen, but that man, Madueke, is the hero of today. Look at the celebrations. He knows how important that goal was. As at full-time here at Stamford Bridge, it finishes Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. And look at the delight on my face. It's times like this that make you realise why football is such a special game. And with the players getting more and more confident as this 8-game unbeaten run continues, I'm confident we can keep the streak going. And with the mood around the club still sky high following that dramatic late goal, and squad morale in a better place than it ever has been before. However, you can predict that some madness from the Chelsea board is going to bring everyone crashing right back down to earth. As whilst despite we're only 9 games into the season, they are still deeming 5th place not to be good enough for the amount of money the club has spent. And so unfortunately they've come marching into my office with some serious demands, and that is if I do not achieve Champions League football this season, then I will be facing my marching orders come the end of the year. Just when the club seem to be heading in the right direction, the Chelsea hierarchy have to come in and add some unnecessary pressure to the situation. And so frustratingly for me, it seems like things are going to get a lot more tougher this season. And then almost as if to rub salt in the wounds, frustratingly for me, there is a certain player in my squad who's starting to kick up a fuss about the lack of game time that he's getting this year. Now the problem with Nicholas Jackson is whilst I initially did plan on making him my number 1 striker this season, it has been impossible with the performances of this young man, Christopher Nkunku, and so it means that unfortunately for the Senegalese, I've had to drop him to the bench. However, he can't really have an argument as having played 3 Premier League games, he's got an overall rating of 5.7 and he hasn't even scored or assisted in any of them. And frustratingly, it seems like he's not the only player who's seemingly unhappy with his lack of involvement this season, as whilst he started the first few games of the season partnering Thiago Silva at the heart of my defence, Axel Disasi's appearances have suddenly started to dry up, making him the next man in line to start demanding to get more game time. Fortunately enough for the two of them though, having beaten Crewe in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, we've been drawn against Nottingham Forest in the round of 16, which means it's a game that gives us the perfect opportunity to return him and Nicholas Jackson both back to the starting 11, and give us the opportunity to spring another surprise, this time on the left-hand side of midfield. That is right, the 17-year-old Arthur Ryan, the potential next Raheem Sterling, is going to get the opportunity to make his debut in a Chelsea shirt this season, and whilst he has the potential to be something special, it is time for him to truly show the Stamford Bridge fans what he can do. Beating Nottingham Forest won't be an easy task, but if we manage to do so, it will take us one step further to winning our first piece of silverware in this career mode, and will be a massive weight lifted off my shoulders, and hopefully relieve some of the pressure the board are putting on me. To Gusto on the right hand side, he plays it into Yugo Chukwu, Chukwu looks for Romeo Lavia, the two central defensive midfielders starting for me. He tried to strike from distance. It was a good strike. Corner. It's going to be Mudryk to take the corner here. Inside the opening 5 minutes, we've started off this game really well. Fired in, looking for the head of Levy Colwell. And in the end, it's out to that man after Ryan on his Chelsea debut. Takes it really nicely and he strikes from distance. What a save from the goalkeeper. And he was just inches away there from his first Chelsea goal and his first Chelsea start. Wood for Forest, being chased down by Disasi, and it's a brilliant challenge from the man. Out now to Arthur Ryan, who's been heavily involved so far. Mudryk back into Ryan. Lovely stuff here. He's going to try and cut it back into the path of Nicholas Jackson. Oh, he's put it wide. Well, look at that. I cannot believe it. That was a golden opportunity for the young man to try and get back into the starting 11 with a goal. And he's made an absolute meal of it. And that is why, really, he's not starting ahead of Nkunku. Into Ryan. Another touch for the young man on his debut. He's been fantastic so far. Almost scoring and almost assisting inside the opening 20 minutes here. Madueke down the line into Gusto. He's going to cut inside. Drifts past the defender. I'm going to try and play this into Nicholas Jackson. He takes it. It wasn't the best ball. And in the end, we lose a little bit of momentum with the attack. But eventually we do keep the ball and we give it away so cheaply. And that was absolutely terrible from Jackson yet again. Mudryk chasing down the Nottingham Forest defence. But it's well done for them to get away from the press. Kiyate now into the former Chelsea man Hudson-Odoi, who seems to be playing in central midfield today. He's blocked off by Disasi. How on earth that wasn't a foul, I don't quite know. But Madueke has picked it up, plays it in field to Mudryk. He finds Lavia. We can now try and hit them on the counter. Ryan to try and play it down the left-hand side. Finds Matson. He cuts inside looking for Jackson. This is his opportunity. And he fires it into the bottom right corner. It's an opportunity he takes and it's one he's absolutely delighted with, and rightly so. A lesser player's head may have dropped after a devastating miss earlier on in the game, but not this man. He got himself in the right position and this time he made no mistake. A wonderful finish with his left foot past the goalkeeper to get us into the lead here at Stamford Bridge. It is 1-0 Chelsea. Jackson now in high spirits after scoring that goal, and Chukwu will now play it into the path of Mudryk. He takes it onto his right, goes past two players, cuts it back. I was looking for the ball back to Ryan. Perhaps I should have shot as the referee blows for half-time. Lovely ball into the path of Wood. Nice stuff from Nottingham Forest at the start of the second half. Out to an unmarked Williams. Cuts it back inside from Alanga. Lovely stuff into Wood. Strikes. Goal. Brilliant. Well, they absolutely carved me apart here. I had absolutely nothing to answer for. Some brilliant play to just get into my penalty area. Much to my dismay as Nottingham Forest get back on level terms. Matson goes infield looking for Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson's going to go out wide looking for Ryan. He's going to try and cut back in. This time he plays a wonderful ball into Matson. Can Matson get there? No, he can't. It was a nice idea though from Ryan. Diate for Nottingham Forest. Well challenged, but they keep the ball alive and they've got it now into our penalty area again. This time Sanchez manages to save. Well, in the second half here, Nottingham Forest have ramped up the pressure, and out of the two teams, they look the more likely to score here. It's headed away. Ryan can't get there. Headed back into the box. Disasi clears. Only out as far as Chukwu, but it's won by Danilo into Wood, and it's well blocked by Colwell, but we are under the cosh here. Danilo for Forest into Williams. They're bursting forward in numbers here. Kiyate strikes. Colwell with the block again. Ryan tried to win it. He was taken out there, but unfortunately he didn't manage to win a foul. And Alanga now will try and bring it forward. Trying to be challenged by Ian Matson. Isn't challenged. Fires it back in the box. Headed away by Gusto. Not very far out though. Lavia will try and win it. And it's Ryan to burst clear here. He does try and burst past Aurier, but it's well defended by the more experienced man. Ryan again to bring the ball forward. It's been a brilliant display here on his debut. And he finds Nicholas Jackson. And Nicholas Jackson now to try and burst forward and see if he can play the ball back into Ryan. He can. Ryan takes it onto his right hand side. Plays it back to Jackson. Jackson strikes, gets it wrong, well blocked. Hudson-Odoi, the former Chelsea man. There's only less than 5 minutes remaining on this game. We are in stoppage time now. Disasi brings it out of defence. Finds Madueke. The referee blows for full time, and it is 1-1 here at the final whistle. And as you can see, looking at the two teams, we are going to be going straight to a penalty shootout. It's going to be the first penalty shootout of this career mode, and it is Ryan who's going to step up here to try and sends the keeper the wrong way, and he gets a goal. But it's Wood for Nottingham Forest here. I'm going to go to the left. He sends me the wrong way. It is 1-1 again. This time it's going to be Madueke to step up. Madueke with his left. I'm going to try and put this top left-hand corner. Well saved by the goalkeeper. And now we are in real trouble. It's going to be Sanchez to step up for Forest. It's saved this time by the other Sanchez. And now it's Hennessy who's going to try and save from Nicholas Jackson here. Can Nicholas Jackson make a mentor earlier? He does. A brilliant left-footed shot. And we are back in the lead here. Serge Aurier now to try and save. And it is Sanchez who saves. And it's now Mudryk to step up. My word, this is a fascinating penalty shootout. Saved by the goalkeeper. What on earth is happening here? Now it's Gibbs White sends Sanchez the wrong way. It is 2-2 here. And this is the defining penalty. Chukwu to step up. Going to put it top left. He does put it top left. And now it is all down to Robert Sanchez. That man, if he can save from Elanga, we will be going through to the next round. Elanga's going to step up. I'm going to try and save, and Sanchez does save. He sends Chelsea through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, and our first chance of silverware in this competition remains alive, much to the Chelsea players' delight. Well, penalty shootouts are always dramatic, and it wasn't exactly part of our plans, but to be honest, I'm just delighted that we managed to get through. It's a massive weight lifted off my shoulders, but for me, the most important thing was the performance of this man, Arthur Ryan, thrown into the deep end for his first appearance in a Chelsea shirt. I believe in his ability, and I think he did absolutely fantastically. The big question moving forward though now is, what do I do with this young man? Because he's obviously not really good enough at this point in time to make a true dent in my starting 11, but I don't really want to hold up his development. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Do I keep him in the squad and allow him to learn from the more experienced players, or do I look to send him out on loan and hope that he can get some much needed first team football elsewhere for the second half of the season? However, after that victory, we've now been drawn against Brentford in the quarterfinals. In a cup competition, I really think we can go far in. But turning our attention back to the Premier League, and with us being in 5th place, just 1 point off Spurs in the final Champions League spots, it is going to be our arch rivals Tottenham who we're going to be playing against in our very next game, in a game that is more than likely going to be a season-defining game, and one that is going to have massive ramifications on the Champions League fight this season. Heung-min Son for Spurs, being chased down by Fofana, but cuts inside really nicely, and now Reece James frantically trying to get back, but Son still has it in the box, goes past 3 players. Oh my word, he has completely ripped my defence apart with just 5 minutes played. Well, what on earth were my defence doing? He goes past 1, 2, 3 players, and then what was Costa doing? He's beaten at the near post, diving in the wrong direction. What on earth is the goalkeeper doing? He cannot be beaten from that angle, and it is an absolutely disastrous start here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Raheem Sterling tries to go past Udogie, and he's taken out by the young Italian here, and the referee walks over to the Italian as Sterling looks like he is down hurt here. Is the referee going to brandish a card? It's only a yellow card, and he can consider himself a very lucky man. Kulusevski's going to try and play a ball into the path of Bentancur, and he's got the beating of Chilwell for pace here. Bentancur down the right-hand side, turns really nicely, looking to go past Fofana. Can't go past Fofana, but Spurs keep it alive with Pedro Porro, and now Bentancur's in acres of space here. Where are the challenges? Fofana comes across, and Fofana I almost thought was going to give away a penalty, but he's done really well to win the ball and bring it out of defence. Sunset goes across to an unmarked Reece James down the right-hand side. I'm going to try and cut back inside here. Going to go one-on-one with Udogie. I go over this time to Ben Chilwell, and for some reason I think Ben Chilwell has been flagged offside, and he has been flagged, and look at this. It is literally a toe distance between him and the last defender. And he's so unlucky with that one. Down the right-hand side to Kulusevski. Kulusevski trying to cut in. Lovely footwork to get away from Ben Chilwell, who struggled so far in the opening 20 minutes. Kulusevski continues. Big save this time from Costa. And it is that man, the Swede. Kulusevski is going to take the corner. He goes short this time to Heung-min Son. Son twisting, turning. Well to get away from Sterling. Back into the box for the yellow card man, Udogie. And Costa with another big save. And somehow he manages to keep it in play. Romero for Spurs. Into Udogie. They are certainly in the ascendancy here. And Udogie just drives past 3 of my players, fires it into the back post, looking for Kulusevski, and Costa is there again. Ben Chilwell to bring this forward. He's being challenged by Kulusevski, goes past him really nicely. And Nkunku back to Chilwell. Chilwell's going to drive into the box, look for the cut back into Nkunku. He's managed to drive past the defenders, and in the end it's just about snuffed away from Spurs. Heung-min Son, he's got an option of Sarr up ahead of him. Sarr does a really nice job of holding the ball up, and Son has it again. This time he's held up by Fofana, but Fofana's under pressure, manages to get away from the pressure and does a really good job there. And now Reece James to go down the right-hand side. End-to-end stuff here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 2 teams that are desperate to try and score against each other. Raheem Sterling fires it across all the way over to Ben Chilwell. Chilwell takes it down with his chest, looks for a ball into Sunset. He's blocked off. That would have been a great ball, but Nkunku picks it up, and Nkunku looks for Sterling. Sterling has it on the edge of the box, and this time it's Udogie with a brilliant challenge right at the last attempt. Sarr for Spurs. My word, I can't keep up with the action here. Ben Chilwell, oh my word, he's done a really good job of just knocking it past Kulusevski as the referee blows for half-time and a much-needed breather. Into Heung-min Son. Son comes deep and now cuts into the centre and finds a nice ball into Richarlison, and they've done a really good job here. Sarr skips away from the challenger. Fofana doesn't have too many options. In the end, though, does manage to find Richarlison. Now it's Kulusevski. The overlap overlapping run of Pedro Porro is there. This time it's Chile to come across and win the ball. And now Nkunku has it. This is our opportunity to try and burst past the Tottenham defence here. And Nkunku has the pace to do just that. He drives into the penalty area. Nkunku goes on his own. And Lloris, who starts in goal for Spurs, with the save. And look at the Spurs players. They know how important it was. Going to be Sterling with the corner. He's going to fire this one in, looking for the head of Jadon Sancho over the bar. Spurs have got a free kick in a very dangerous position here that Heung-min Son is going to take. He's just dinking it into the penalty spot. It's headed away by Caicedo. Gusto with an acrobatic clearance into the path of Jadon Sancho. And Sancho now into Nkunku. Nkunku now to try and drive forward. And Nkunku is going to burst forward here. Has he got the pace? He's just run out of stamina, and Udogie comes across the cover. Maatsen to try and bring it down this left-hand side, try and inject some energy into this attack for us. And look at the pace. He's just got the beating of Pedro Porro. It's all too easy. And now I'm going to try and cut it back into the path of Jadon Sancho. Well blocked by Eric Dyer. And we just cannot keep the ball alive. Spurs get it clear. Højbjerg, though, picks it up on the edge of the box. Richarlison has it. Blocked well. Caicedo out to Sunset. We have to try and do something here. It's into the substitute, Nicholas Jackson. Jackson down this left-hand side. He doesn't have any options, so instead I'm going to try and take it all alone. Nicholas Jackson continues his run. I'm going to try and play this across into the path of Jadon Sancho. Højbjerg clears. Not good enough. Heung-min Son into Bentancur. Surely the referee blows for full time. He does. And that is that. Well, after an absolutely shocking opening 5 minutes here, it looked like we were going to be in for an absolute battering as that man Heung-min Son got the only goal. However, after an end-to-end game, we come away very disappointed, having not been able to score and not being able to at least get a draw here. As at full time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it finishes Spurs 1, Chelsea 0. And it's an even more frustrating one as that result has dropped us down now out of the Europa League spot into 6th place as Manchester United overhaul us. And now Spurs have got up to 2nd with that win. But not only that, with morale starting to slip and Raheem Sterling apparently frustrated after being subbed off midway through the game, are the cracks beginning to show in this Chelsea team. And whilst Christopher Nkunku is holding up the fort for us with 11 goals and 11 appearances in the Premier League, Oyhan Sanset is my next best goal scorer with just 2 goals to his name. And with the likes of Nicholas Jackson and Madueke being the only other 2 players who've got more than 1 goal this season, you can clearly see that a lot of my other players just aren't pulling their weight. Now, is that due to the formation I'm playing? Is it due to some of the tactics I'm trying to implement with this Chelsea team? Or perhaps I've just got the player instructions all wrong for the players that I've got at my disposal? Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts as to how I should arrest this poor Chelsea form at the moment. And with this only being about a month away from the start of the January transfer window, and with us still having almost £40 million to spend, again, let me know your thoughts as to what areas of the team you want to see improved, and perhaps what other players you want to see plying their trade in a Chelsea shirt in the second half of the season. But unfortunately for me, with Manchester City, the next team we are about to welcome to Stamford Bridge, things are not about to get any easier. It's a Manchester City team that of course are in the hunt for the Champions League spot and the Premier League title. And it is a team that are going to be absolutely desperate to try and secure 3 points against us. But it's a ball down into the path of Haaland here. Haaland now drives past Fofana like he's not even there. And this time Costa is able to save at his near post. Madueke into Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher's going to try and fire a ball all the way over to Ian Maatsen, who also starts in place of Ben Chilwell, who struggled against Spurs earlier. Maatsen tried to do the dance around the Manchester City midfield, but perhaps got a little bit too ahead of himself. And now City are going to try and hit us on the counter-attack as Jack Grealish has managed to get past Reece James here. Fofana desperately trying to come over and cover, and he does a really good job of doing so. Into Nunes. Nunes to Jack Grealish, who's dropped deep. City trying just to play the ball around, try to fill the gaps and unplug what is a stubborn Chelsea defence at the moment. Oyhan Sanset wins it. He finds Gallagher, and now he releases Sanset, and Sanset surely has the time and space to drive into the box. Sanset to hit it. Sanset to give us a 1-0 lead. Well, he slides on the floor. It's his 3rd goal in the Premier League so far this season, and it's against the run of play, but my word, did we need it. The crowd go absolutely wild, and you can understand why. It is a fabulous counter-attacking goal, and it's an even better finish from the Spaniard. He gave Ederson no chance here, and much to his delight, it is 1-0. Kuna for City, tried to play the ball forward, but it's well intercepted by Reece James. Now Conor Gallagher into Oyhan Sanset. Nice turn into Madueke. Lovely stuff into Nkunku. Well defended by Stones. Oh my word, City almost get it all wrong there, and they just about clear their lines. Sancho won the ball high, and now Sanset, who's been heavily involved so far in this game, plays it off to Madueke. He switched it onto his left. Lovely stuff to get past 2 Man City defenders. He still has it. Oh, that is absolutely brilliant. Well, what a goal from the young Englishman. Absolutely brilliant. He got it onto his left, went past 1 player, went past 2, put it through the legs of John Stones, and he had the composure to just finish low past the goalkeeper. Fabulous stuff. The tenacity of the young Englishman was absolutely fantastic. And that goal gives us a 2-goal cushion, much to Pep's disgust. Madueke again has it now. He is full of confidence, and Oyhan Sanset is another man. Those two with the 2 goals, and you can see the difference it has made to their play. Reece James into Conor Gallagher. Gallagher tries to find Sancho. Sancho into Sanset. Sanset to try and strike. It goes to Sancho again. And this time they just about get it clear, but it's Caicedo who now has it. And Kunku, he's going to try and get it on the act. What a save from Ederson. Sanset, though, to try and cut it back. In the end, Walker defends well. Well, we really have our tails up here. We were in poor form heading into the game, but my word, you wouldn't think of it with the performance. Headed away by the Manchester City defence. Madueke to throw it back in, this time looking for Nkunku, headed away again by the Manchester City defence. Walker for City down the line into Julian Alvarez. Lovely turn away from Ian Matson, and it's fired across at the back post. What a sensational goal. Well, I can't even be frustrated with that. A fabulous cross, and Jack Grealish unmarked at the back post. That is arguably goal of the season. What a first-time volley. I mean, Costa, perhaps he could have done better. It was close to him, but my word, the velocity that was on that strike was unbelievable. And City have a route back into the game. Luis Alberto out to Walker. Walker to try and cut inside. He's going to look for Phil Foden. City now, all of a sudden, the pendulum has swung and the momentum has switched between the two teams. Caicedo now into Nkunku. Can we try and wrestle it back? No, we can't. It's really poor, but Nkunku wins it again. And now we have options. Nkunku over to Madueke on the right-hand side. Madueke continues his run. Stones is blocked off. Madueke into the box. What a goal. What a finish. It is 3-1. Well, it looks like the last-minute winner in the other game in this episode has done this man's confidence absolute wonders. It's his second goal, and it's another brilliant one. This time a fabulous dribble. John Stones was held up, and this time Madueke with his right foot low into the bottom left-hand corner, and he restores our 2-goal cushion. It is 3-1. Well, City now have got less than 5 minutes to try and see if they can find 2 goals here, and they're looking for it. But it's well headed away by Reece James. Mudryk on as a sub. Can only head it to Walker. Lavia also on as a sub and does a brilliant job. Exactly what I want him to do in that central defensive midfield role. And he releases Matson down this left-hand side. And are we going to try and see if we can get a fourth here? Matson continues his run. What options does he have? I'm going to try and cut this one back to Mudryk. He's going to take it on his right. That is brilliant. Well, look how much it means to that man. He is really struggling for form. And if anyone needed a goal, it is him. Perhaps this is arguably the best goal of the lot from the edge of the box. A beautiful curved finish past Ederson. And he celebrates wildly, and rightly so. It is 4-1 at Stamford Bridge. The Chelsea fans in full voice at full time here. I shake the hand of Pep Guardiola. I am absolutely delighted with everyone's performance. Look how happy I am. It was Madueke though who will steal the headlines, as his 2 goals were the huge difference here today. As at full time it finishes here, Chelsea 4, City 1. Well, it was the perfect result and the perfect way to finish what has been a roller coaster of an episode. It was a game that now sees us climb up to 4th place in the table, into the final Champions League spot, surpassing Manchester City in 6th. And with morale starting to improve, could this be the real shot in the arm that my team needs? It's a team that is still struggling for goals, and one that still does need your help to see where you would want to improve it. But it's one that, with the right additions at the right price in the January transfer window, could well take this squad to the next level and perhaps even fight for the title this season. But that is it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.